everyone, and welcome to Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have an unboxing for you from nutstop.com. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to try some of their products, and after looking over everything on their website, I said, yes please. So we're gonna open it up, see what we have waiting for us, do a couple of taste tests, and I have a recipe I wanna try too. All right, so my first step is to cut into this box, and from what they told me, most of their products come in 1-pound bags, and I was able to peruse their entire selection online. So it's not just nuts, it's also milk and dark chocolate covered goodies. There's a whole category of kind of old-fashioned candy. There's also a very large health food category where there are superfood powders and also like whole items. For example, goji berries and hemp seeds. There is such a wide variety on their site. So I had a lot of fun looking through and picking out a bunch of things to try today. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna bring you in for a closer look. So here's just a quick overview of some of the items I picked out. I wanted to try some of their nuts, but if you know anything about me, you know that I don't have just one sweet tooth, I have all sweet teeth. So I went for a lot of candy items too. So we'll start with this one, gummy mixed fruits. So this is a collection of like Peachy-O's, peach rings, apple rings, cherry rings, and I think some gummy raspberries too, which I'd never tried, so that sounded delicious. Also, how hilarious is their logo? I love the squirrel with the sunglasses. And I can feel already, I wasn't sure, but these 1-pound bags, they have a zip top, which is really nice. So I can just keep the products in here, keep them fresh, because I probably shouldn't eat this whole bag in one sitting, right? Next up are roasted macadamia nuts. These are unsalted. This is what I'm gonna use in a recipe today. I'm gonna make white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, which I have never tried, but there is a famous fast food chain that is also known for their cookies, and I've had them there a couple times, and they're so good. So I thought, why not use this opportunity to get some macadamia nuts and try out those cookies. I chose roasted. I feel like roasted nuts usually just have a little more flavor, plus it saves me the step of roasting them myself in the oven. Next up are raw almonds, and these are for my husband Sean. He typically takes a bag of almonds with him in his lunch every day to work, so I wanted to compare these to the other kinds we usually get. There's definitely a lot more in this bag than what we usually purchase from the grocery store, and at a very good price too. I'm sure these will be fresh and delicious. Next, I thought this was really unique. They had a wide variety of dried fruits, and I had never heard of dried peaches before. Actually, they had dried nectarines too. I kind of had to flip a coin because I didn't know which one to get, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna use these. I mean, of course I can snack on them. They'd probably be good in recipes too, but I just thought that was such a unique product I couldn't pass up. They had guava, papaya, pineapple, apples, dried tangerines, dried nectarines, like I said, just such a wide variety of things I hadn't seen before, and I am very excited to dive into these. I'm definitely gonna try one of these on camera today to see what they taste like. Next up are roasted unsalted cashews, and we love snacking on cashews. That's one of our favorite nuts. I put these in my chicken salad, which I actually have a recipe video for on my channel, so I'll link that below. It is the bomb. It's amazing. I love my chicken salad recipe with the cashews. They have like a creamy quality to them, kind of like a softer crunch. I don't know, something very unique about a cashew. I love the flavor, and these are gonna go fast in our house. Next up are roasted salted mixed nuts, and I thought this would be a good way to try a variety of what they had to offer in one mix. Okay, so this is a mix of pecans, peanuts, almonds, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts, oh, and cashews. So we get to try a whole bunch of different products kind of in one mix. Okay, not gonna lie, this was the first item I added to my list when I was emailing the representative back from nutstop.com. Sour cherry cola bottles. I love Coke bottle candy, okay, classic. I had never heard of cherry Coke bottle candy, and then the fact that they're sour, I've definitely been craving that. I'm pregnant right now, I'm 6 months pregnant, and sour candy is very appealing to me. So we're definitely trying these out. I cannot wait. Last up are 2 items that contain chocolate, and they very kindly wrapped them in this insulated wrapper and put a little ice pack in there for me too, which I appreciate because it's like 95 degrees here right now in the Pittsburgh area. One of my all-time favorite candies are chocolate covered raisins, so I definitely added these to my cart. These are milk chocolate raisins. This whole bag's probably gonna be for me because I love them and can't wait to dig into those. Also with chocolate, I got this, I think it's called a Black Forest trail mix. Yes. So if you think about a Black Forest dessert, that's chocolate and cherry. This is a combination of dark chocolate chunks and chocolate covered cherries, and the nuts are almonds and walnuts, which I think pair really well with all those other flavors. So again, can't wait to dig in. All right, first up, I'm gonna taste test these dried peaches. And upon first smell, they smell a lot like apricots, which I didn't even make that connection, but it's probably gonna taste a lot like that, but let's see. They're nice and soft. I hate when dried fruit, you have to like tear it off with your teeth, but these taste really fresh. Very much like an apricot, a little bit sweeter. They're really good though. So that's good to know. Actually, you know what would be good? I might dice up some of these and put them into my white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. That would be an awesome combination. I think I'm gonna try that. Next up, I'm trying the sour cherry Coke bottles, and I already pulled one out. I don't know if you can see. They're very thick, like thicker than a Sour Patch Kid, but they smell good. Ooh, very gummy. Oh, I love that. Okay, probably one of my favorite sodas to get. I don't drink pop very often, but when I do, like at a sub shop or something with lunch, I have cherry Coke, that's usually my first pick, or Dr. Pepper, or root beer, or I mix them all together. And this tastes exactly like a cherry Coke, but with a sour kick from the coating on the outside. These are really, really good. And again, they're very fresh. So there's nothing stiff about the texture. They're very fresh and they taste amazing. And I love that I can just keep them right in this bag. Can you see? And just zip it right back up and they'll stay fresh. It's chocolate covered raisin time. One of my all-time favorite candies. Here we go. Amazing. I can't fault them for anything. I prefer milk chocolate typically with my chocolate covered raisins, but they did come in dark chocolate. And that's how a lot of their candies are. You can get one or the other option, which is nice for the variety. They also had a whole category of chocolate covered pretzels too, which look good. But I've had chocolate covered pretzels before and I wanted to try some other more unique items, but these I couldn't pass up. Okay, I'm gonna try one more, maybe 2 more things, because I haven't tried any of the nuts yet. And I kind of want to see just how fresh they are. I have a feeling they're going to be very fresh because all the candy had a great texture to it. So I opened up the roasted salted mixed nuts. I'm going to go in first for a cashew, one of my favorites. Yeah. Actually, it tastes really good after having just eaten that chocolate covered raisin. I love kind of a classic trail mix with raisins and chocolate and nuts. So that was a good flavor combination. What else is in here? I think this is a hazelnut. Ooh! That's definitely a hazelnut. This is a totally different flavor than the cashew. It has a little bit more of a crunch. It's not quite as soft. And of course, I love chocolate hazelnut spread, so getting that hazelnut flavor in here is super yummy. Anything else I can find that's different? Let me see. We'll try an almond. Really good. Fresh, nice crunch. I like that I got them salted. And then last, we'll try a peanut. This is really good. I'm gonna have to put some of this out in a dish to kind of snack on throughout the day. Lastly, I'm gonna try a whole macadamia nut, and these are quite large. I never actually realized how big they are. I might chop these up for the cookies. I'll have to see what the recipe says. They are pretty big, but we'll give one a taste. I don't know if I've ever just eaten a macadamia nut on its own, and these are roasted but unsalted. Ooh, super crunchy. Have a kind of creaminess to them. And they're inherently ever so slightly sweet too. which I never realized because they're typically in a very sweet cookie already, but the nut itself has a little bit of sweetness to it. It's gonna be so good in my cookies. This recipe for white chocolate macadamia nut cookies comes from Sally's Baking Addiction. It starts with 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, and 1.5 sticks of, I used salted butter that was melted and cooled slightly. You could use unsalted too, just depending on what you have. And also 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. To that I added 1 egg yolk plus 1 whole egg and then whisked this all together. For the dry ingredients, I combined 2 cups plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, along with 1 teaspoon of cornstarch and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You can also use half a teaspoon of salt here, but since I used salted butter, I decided not to. And then I whisked this all together with a fork. Next, I mixed the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients with a rubber spatula until they were just combined. I used a meat mallet actually to crush up 1 cup of those roasted unsalted macadamia nuts. I didn't want to pulverize them, I just kind of wanted to break each one of them at least in half just to make the pieces a little bit smaller. And then I also took a couple of those dried peaches and chopped them up into a little bowl. I didn't put them into all of the dough, but at the end I did mix it in probably to about 8 cookies just to test it out. So to the cookie dough, I added my 1 cup of chopped macadamia nuts along with a heaping cup of white chocolate chips, and then I mix this together. Then I used my medium cookie scoop to portion these out onto a cookie sheet that I lined with a silicone baking mat. Now this dough needs to refrigerate for a couple of hours before you bake it. That is why I'm placing them so close together. But once they've chilled, you can either bake them a little more spread out on a cookie tray, or you can put them into a container and freeze them for future use. And you can see here with the last little bit of cookie dough, I did sprinkle in a couple handfuls of the chopped up dried peaches and then scoop those out onto the cookie tray as well. I also remembered I had these Maldon sea salt flakes in my pantry, so I thought while I was experimenting with some flavors, I would sprinkle the salt on top of the peach cookies as well. So this cookie dough went into the refrigerator for about 2 hours to chill. Then I preheated the oven to 350 degrees and baked some of the dough for about 12 to 13 minutes until they were lightly golden brown, kind of crispy on the outside but still soft on the inside. And then these cool for 5 minutes on the cookie tray, and then you transfer them to a cooling rack to cool completely. Thank you so much to nutstop.com for sending me all of these delicious goodies. Make sure you check out my description box below where I'll have the 10% off discount code linked. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Anne's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my Nutstop review today. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with more family recipes.